Hello, everyone. My name is Jorman from Opera.com. Welcome again to this series of interviews. Today, I'm interviewing Leah. She has been au pair in China and Finland. She will talk about her experience, why she wanted to become an au pair, her fears, and her advice to all the future au pairs. Well, let's start. Hi, Leah. Welcome, and thank you for being here with us.
Hello, how are you all?
Very good. So, well, to get some context, please tell us something about you. How old are you? Where are you from?
Sure. Well, my name is Leah. I'm 27 years old right now. I just turned 27 last month. I am a nutritionist. I studied nutrition in the university. But after the university, I decided to study translations. And well, now I translate.
And that's cool. So now
Yeah.
you are in Mexico, right?
Yes, I'm in Mexico.
Okay, okay. Uh, why did you want to become an au pair?
Well, first, when I was like 19 years old, I started to I wanted to study abroad. And I was searching for schools, but then I realized that the prices in Europe were very high. So I decided to travel around the world with a different way. And I heard about this program called Au Pair. And I decided just to go ahead and try. That's
Okay.
why.
So did you hear that information on the internet, television, or where did you know the opera program?
It was from a friend that he's from Holland, and he told me about it. He told me I met some Mexican girl, and she's an au pair. So that's how.
Okay, great. And have you already lived abroad before becoming an au pair?
No, actually, when I became an au pair, it was the first time that I was abroad, like going to the other country.
Okay,
By
so
myself.
first time you went to China, right?
Yes.
And how about the process of getting the visa? Was it easy to get one?
It's not so complicated. I think it didn't take too long because I received the documents from China. They sent it straight away from China to Mexico. And then I took them to the embassy the next day. And within 3 or 4 days, the same week, I got the visa back together with my passport. So it was pretty easy.
So you got the visa 4 days.
Yeah, after 3 or 4 days. And I
That
think also you can pay for money and you can get it the next day.
okay. So you do all the paperwork by yourself, or you hire a lawyer, or
Well, here in Mexico, yeah, I took it by myself to the embassy, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
oh, that's very good experience.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yes. So and well, let's talk about you. What were your fears or your doubts before leaving?
I was very afraid that maybe I could be getting scammed by them. Like maybe they were some scammers, or maybe they wouldn't pay me the fair price. I heard a lot of stories in which a lot of
Mhm.
girls were getting scammed or not getting paid or having a lot of work and not getting like any days offs or like time to have with friends or to see around. I was afraid of that.
So and did you have like a lot of conversations? How much conversation with the family before leaving?
Well, I would say I had the first interview. After that interview, they decided they wanted me. So we had the second interview, which was for them to like explain me how things would work. And well, actually, I was very young. I was like 21 years old in that time. So I just went with the flow. And I said yes.
And this was the first family you contacted?
Yeah, it was.
So at the very beginning, you found yeah, like the ideal family for you.
Yes.
That's very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
and about your au pair experience, when did the stay begin?
It was March of 2017. 2016. Yeah, 2016. March.
2016.
Yes.
And how long it takes?
I was there with them for 6 months, but I stayed in China for 2 years and a half.
So now you speak a little bit Mandarin.
Actually, I'm a translator for Mandarin.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And did you work for a single parent family?
Not really. I had never done that. Well, like I did, but in Finland, that was like time
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
afterward. But with these guys, they were a couple, and they were also living with the mother's mother, like the grandmother, and also this little kid that turned out to be like one of my best friends. Now he's like my little brother. So yeah, and with the Chinese family, they were a couple.
And how was the relationship? You talked in English, I guess?
Yes, in English.
Okay.
We used to speak in English, and the relationship was very good. To be honest, it was one of the greatest experiences. So far, it's been already, I was 21 years old when I arrived there. It's been 6 years ever since I left them, and I am still in touch with them. It was my birthday last week, and they called me.
Mm. And did you get along with both of the parents?
I don't really get along a lot with the dad, but the mother is amazing, and the grandmother also created a WeChat account just to be in touch with me. So
And
yeah,
how about the kids? Did they accept your present right away?
actually, yeah, it was just one boy. He was in that time 2 years old. He's right now, I think, 7. And well, in that time for him, he was very, very young. He was very small. And I remember at the beginning, he was like freaked out, like just looking at me like she's so different. And then
Mm.
within the time, he was very happy for me to take him to places or to like go out and play with me. And we just got along pretty fast.
Well, and what was a typical day as an au pair there in China?
Well, normally I would wake up, take a shower. I would help the grandmother to put the table, and I would go wake up Fanfan and help the grandmother feed him. Meanwhile, she was preparing the breakfast for the rest of us. And in that time, at the same time, mother and father would be getting ready to go to work. Then I would stay during the morning together with the grandmother and Fanfan, and we would take him to daycare at 11. So I would be with him from 7 until 11, and then when his parents were back from work, they would go pick him up. Sometimes it would be me, sometimes it would be the grandmother. It was different, like it depended. We used to have like a blackboard in the kitchen, and they used to write down who was going to pick him up which day. And for the rest, that was normally the during the week. And also like weekdays in the afternoon, sometimes I would play with him, sometimes he would fall asleep, take a nap because he was very small. And then on the weekends, I would either be with him on Saturday or Sunday. But I would, if for example, if I gave him one of my days off, then I would have maybe Friday or Thursday free. And if I was having like the whole weekend for myself, then I would have to work from Monday to Friday. But it was pretty okay.
That's very good. And regarding the international or the intercultural exchange, so you were supposed to teach the kids English or Spanish?
Yeah, English, yes.
Okay, English. Okay. And what about the foreign language? Was it hard at the beginning to communicate with the family and with the people of the place?
It was very hard because in China there's a very small amount of people that speak English, and if there's people that speak English, they are in very big cities like Shanghai or Beijing. I was in a city that was, I would say, a medium size. Its name is Qingdao. So this city doesn't have a very big amount of people that can speak English. And it was really hard because the only one that could speak English in the family was the mom and the dad a little bit. And sometimes with the grandmother, I would be during the morning with them. And I remember sometimes she used to clean the floor and she would be like, man, man. And I was like, what is that? And then with the time I understood that was go slow, slow.
Mm.
So it was very hard, but I believe these kind of things that happen that you cannot express yourself in either English or Spanish and you cannot speak their language helps you to develop the language skills faster.
Mm-hmm. So it was difficult for you to make friends.
Well, actually, most of my friends that I made in China are foreigners. I have a few Chinese friends as well, but most of them are foreigners as well.
So you were not alone. So you don't felt homesick.
I did. At the beginning, I did. The very first 2 months were very hard for me because it was the first time going abroad alone in a country that is basically at the other side of the world. I
Mhm.
felt like I was so far away from home and I was feeling like helpless, like this is so hard. But then I started to get friends, to meet people, to get along with the language, to do stuff, to start to see around the city, and I got used to it. I actually feel like Qingdao is my second house.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, speaking about habits and traditions, what was the most difficult or weirdest thing to deal with the host country?
I think it was that everything was difficult. It's such a different culture from Mexican culture. Everything is so different. Everything has a meaning. The colors have a meaning. There's a lot of beliefs related to Buddhism and also to like spirit. So it was really, really hard at the beginning because there were a lot of things that were going on around me that I wouldn't understand. So I think it was a constant change. Like every day, something new, something different, something you gotta try, something you gotta get used to.
And how did you manage? Did you have a kind of problem with diet or religion or not?
Well, at the beginning, I was a little bit hesitant with the food. I remember, like at my third month, I didn't stop eating, but I was eating like the less I could because I was a little bit tired of their food. But then I started to see that there's other dishes and I started trying them and then I could like pick I like this one, I don't like this one. With a religion, I never had a religion because I have a lot of respect. I think the best that you can do is go with an open minded and try your best, if not to fit in with the culture, to respect it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what didn't you like about the experience? If you
Maybe
have something.
maybe that in China they are a little bit dirty. Sometimes you are walking on the street and you hear their throat, how they're doing this noise to spit out. And they used to make it very like very loud. And that was very impressive for me the first time. Or sometimes at the parking lots, they would be taking a pee, like kids or an adult. Like you're in a mall somewhere,
Mhm.
and suddenly you find somebody, and he's taking a pee in the parking lot in front of everybody at 3 in the afternoon.
Wow, that's a really, really cultural shock.
Yes, it is. It was so
Yeah.
awkward for me, but well, you just turn around and keep going.
Yes, yes. Well, did you travel a lot during your stay? What is the favorite place you visited?
Well, yes, I was very fortunate because I was getting good money from working as an au pair, and I could travel to different cities within China. I would say I know at least 40% of the territory in China. And I also traveled to other countries. I traveled to South Korea, to Thailand, to Mongolia, and that's it.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And well, so we were talking about China, but not Finland. So
Yeah.
if you want to say like something about your experience in Finland?
Sure. Well, I was in Finland just for 1 month. Actually, it was due to the coronavirus. I met this girl. We were going to like process a residence permit as an au pair for me, and we decided that it would be better for us if I went to Finland first and meet and like got used to each other. And once I was there, we could like decide either if I would stay with with her, or maybe find another family. But meanwhile, we wouldn't process anything because we were not sure about it. So I went to Finland and we really got along. Finland is another culture, it's totally different.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I like it very much. I'm actually planning to travel as soon as the coronavirus thing is over, because I had to leave due to the coronavirus. So, yeah. Um, what can I say about Finland? It's a very beautiful country. It's very cold. It's very dark.
It's very dark. Dark. What do you say that?
There's months in which there's not much sun. Like maybe the sun comes out from 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. until 3 or 4 p.m. And then at that time it's getting dark outside. And there's a lot of snow, a lot of cold. Like people do not really feel like going out or doing anything different than just staying at home. And there's a lot
Mhm.
of person in the country.
Yes, yes. And how about the food? You know, Mexico is like very famous for food.
Yeah.
So how about this change?
Well, I think Finland doesn't have like a food culture. I think maybe they have a few dishes that are very known to be Finnish. But besides that, most of their food comes from like kebab and pizza. So that's like a very traditional thing, or going to the Nepalese restaurant for
Mm.
curry. So I wouldn't say I tried a lot of Finnish food. I don't think there's a lot of Finnish food. So um, I guess whenever you're in Finland as a Mexican, you get to miss your food a lot.
Yes. And how about the language? Have you
Very
attended
hard.
any language course before leaving?
No, I actually started taking it after I left Finland. Of course, I learned a few words in Finland, but it's so hard. I can even tell like that maybe Finnish is harder than Chinese for me.
So you consider the Finnish is harder than Chinese?
Yes, it's very hard because, for example, in Chinese, you just need to know how to say certain words to make a sentence. But in Finnish, you need to know a lot of things before making a sentence. For example, inside a
Mhm.
house is one word, outside the house is another word. So you cannot just go and say, I am out. No, you need to like make a lot of conjugations. It's really confusing.
Yes. And which languages did you study at the university?
Well, I'm still studying Chinese right now, and Portuguese. And well, English and Spanish are my main targets, the ones that I normally translate. But right now, I'm also translating Chinese in a business level. And I'm hopefully going to be translating Portuguese soon on a business level as well.
That's very good. So this combination between languages at university and then being au pair, it's like the perfect match for you, right?
Yeah, it was very good for me to have this
Mhm.
experience.
And would you do it again?
Definitely. I'm actually trying to see if I can go back to Finland to like be an au pair with the residence permit as it should be, or to go to the Netherlands. Those are my like the target countries so far. Right now I'm working in a company, in a very famous company that I would rather not say the name, but it's a Chinese company in Mexico. And I'm working here and translating, but I would definitely love to travel again. I mean, as soon as I'm young, after I'm 30, then maybe I can stay in one job. But so far, maybe I would like to have one more experience or two.
So you would recommend this experience for all the au pairs.
Yes, but like I think there's something very important besides recommending this experience. For example, a few months ago, I had an interview with a family from Holland, and this
Mhm.
family seemed to be very special and very nice. But and actually, there it was an agency that provided me this interview with the family. I had the interview, and the family were looking not for an au pair. They were looking for a nanny, a cleaner, a babysitter, and someone who was there also to cook. And they explained me like it doesn't matter that you're gonna help us with the elder and the kids and the house and the kitchen. They also wanted me to make the bed and their clothes, which is something no one should do as an au pair. So I actually got like, what are you talking about? This is not part of the upper thing. And she said, but it's part of the 40 hours. Like, you're not going to work longer than 40 hours. So why can't you do both? And I'm like, well, so I think, well, what I'm trying to say here is like, there's a lot of families out there that are amazing. I was very lucky to find those families that really made me part of their family, of their house, made me feel loved because I love my Chinese family. I always say it. My Chinese mom is always insisting, when are you going to get married? When are you going to invite me to your wedding? Aren't you going to have kids? She's like a mom to me. And
Wow.
with the Finnish family, I do get along with the mom. Actually, it's pretty funny because we're the same age and our birthday is the same day. Like we were born the same day, the same year, the same month. So we have the same age. We do get along pretty well. Like it's been a very good experience for me. But I think there's also out there a lot of people that want to abuse from this upper concept, that want to do bad stuff, and to neglect a lot of girls that are young and that want to travel. I see a lot of posts on Facebook of girls saying like, "Why nobody picks me? Why just people from Europe?" But I think right now it's not a good time to be crazy about au pairing. We should all chill and wait for the right family. And if they are asking you to do something that is not part of your duties, you shouldn't take it. And that's what makes the difference between a good experience and a bad experience.
Mhm. So this is the advice you want to give to the future of ours.
Yes, of course. If they want to have a good experience as I did, they should definitely be very careful about who they choose as a host family.
Mhm. So what do you wish somebody would have told you before leaving for the opera stay?
Maybe to be stronger, not to quit so quick, because at the beginning it was so hard for I wanted to quit so bad. I even told my family like I want to go back, and they were like, we don't have the money for you to go back. You have to wait those 6 months." And I was like trapped. Well, that's what I thought in that moment. In the first 2 months, I'm trapped in this country. I cannot go back. My family doesn't have the money for me to go back. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go crazy. And so maybe if someone has talked to me before, like, you're gonna feel homesick. Definitely you're going to feel at some point homesick. Still, it doesn't matter, you have to keep going. Maybe I would have had a better first 2 months.
How did you manage the homesick?
I was just trying to do things for myself, going for walks to see around, to get acquainted with the environment, with the people, with the neighbors, with the language, with the restaurants around. Every time I was getting my pocket money, I used to have something that I still do. I started doing it as an au pair. Now I still do it. Every time I was getting paid, the first thing that I would do is to go out to eat by myself somewhere I want, anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's cheap or expensive. I would go eat only myself. And that's an habit that I still do nowadays. I get paid and I go eat by myself. That helps a
And
lot.
yes, yes, that helps a lot. And did you call your family
Yes.
every day? I believe, I guess.
Yes, we were talking every day and they were very worried, but I was trying for them not to feel worried about me. I was trying to look okay because at the end it was my decision, right? They didn't make me go to China. And it was me who decided to go there, so I should be responsible on my decisions and show that I was making a good one.
Well, Leah, what is the most memorable moment you live as an au pair?
I think it was one day that I took Fin, my host kid, to the daycare. And the teachers were very excited with me because in China, normally they get very excited and they are very nice towards foreigners. And I was with them and I was talking with them. And one of the teachers told me like, "Hey, come here inside. Let's take a look on the toys that they have." And I went with her. And Fan was supposed to be playing with the other kids, but suddenly, when I was done talking with this girl, I went back and I didn't see Fan, and I was so scared, so scared. I was like, "Where did he go?" Like, I ran outside and I was like checking everywhere. I was running on the streets to find him, and then I remember that my handbag was in the school. So I went back so I could call the mom, like, "I don't know where he is. We were at the daycare and I don't know why they let him out. Like, help me." And then when I came back, he was hiding in the same classroom in which I was, but behind the doors. And he was like,
Wow.
he noticed that I left without him. But nobody could contact me because I was outside without my phone.
But at the end, everything was okay.
Yes, he was fine. He was just hiding. He was playing.
So we always say that being an au pair can be useful for the future job search. Do you agree? Why? Why not?
I think it depends on what you want to do because I think there are some girls that are trying to learn a new language, which is pretty much amazing because it's hard. And I really admire those girls that are just willing to learn a language and take this experience as part of learning it. So if your goal is related maybe to taking care of kids, to education, or to languages like me, that I'm a translator, definitely being an au pair is good for you for the future. And in any case, if you're dedicated, let's say you're an engineer, you are an astronaut, I don't know, whatever you are, I think experiences always make you feel better. And nowadays, myself, I have a lot of experiences abroad. I've been able to see a lot of countries. So far, I think I've been to like 10 countries. And to be honest, I'm a girl. I'm not a rich girl. I'm not this kind of girl that can like afford to pay all those tickets, but I made my way. And I think everybody can do with the right effort and the um,
Mm,
motivation. So
yes.
I, sorry,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Which kind of competences have you learned that you think it would be suitable for the current job market?
Well, I think you need a lot of tolerance to frustration because sometimes, kids are playful and naughty, and sometimes Fan used to be very nice, but sometimes I would be talking to my mom and he would come and just like press the red button so that I stop talking to my mom. Or sometimes he wouldn't eat and he would be like very tired during the day, and I would have to obviously deal with his mood changes and all this stuff. So of course I was feeling frustrated, but I knew at some point that the first priority was Finfin, and so far that's what I did. I treated him like my first priority, and I did my best for him.
Yeah, that's very good experience. So, what would you like to add? Do you want to add something else? Do you want to like to convey a message for the au pairs that are now looking for families?
I think they should be patient right now that we have this problem with the coronavirus. I think there's a lot of possibilities out there, and definitely there must be a family that suits you, or maybe more than one. But you definitely have to be patient on finding the right family. And also during these times, it's maybe better if you find a family, that's great. I mean, it's perfect, you can go. But if you are like struggling to find a family right now, maybe you should wait a little bit until things are better. Actually, a lot of countries are already getting the vaccine. So I think things will go great soon. And yeah, that's all I want to add.
Okay, so thank you for your time, Leah, and for sharing your experience. I'm pretty sure this interview will help others.
Thank you very much for your time. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you and to be able to participate in this interview.